there.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Look out. It's a
little bit of
new-
magie to start us off.
Yeah, well, explain the theme tonight. It's a really good one.
We're right across town from each other tonight remotely, guys. The theme for tonight, artist that was so famous or so very unique that they just had one name, otherwise known as a mononym.
Yeah. Not many of them when you think about it.
80s was good for them. There's been sort of there's been a lot of them throughout history, like classical history. You think like Socrates and Voltaire and Aristotle and people like that. They sort of like took on these names. 80s was another sort of era where you were celebrity was really rising to a point that sort of these people no longer needed their surname. Obviously, Madonna had a surname. Madonna's the biggest one that you can think of,
Yeah.
There are others that we're going to be looking at tonight, but sort of Madonna's your biggest example where they become so famous they don't need, and they're so unique they don't need a surname.
They never used them though. They never used them.
No, that's right.
Like a lot of these people, when I say there wasn't many, when you actually sit down and you don't Google it and you think about it in your own head, there's not that many compared to people that were using their surname and their first name. It was very 80s to use your whole name. Belinda Carlisle.
Yeah, right.
I actually thought it was the opposite where I went, I don't know, there's Madonna and there's the people we're going to look at tonight, but compared to how many artists were out in the 80s, I reckon there's fuck all of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right. There's been a lot since. I reckon there's a few now. You think of like Beyonce, Adele, Rihanna.
Well, I think it's
Pink.
bigger now. Yeah, I think it's much bigger now.
Yeah, possibly. I can't remember it happening before the 80s though, obviously, because I wasn't alive. But you know what I mean? But it's sort of, I can't, apart from those sort of classical composers and thinkers and stuff like that, 80s to me is where it really started to become a trend again. I don't know. Elvis Presley sort of, he sort of dropped, he became big enough that he sort of dropped the surname as well. I remember like, I only knew him as Elvis as a kid. I only ever heard him referred to as Elvis. And I remember being surprised learning his surname. Like, oh, is it Presley?
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't use the surname. There's some artists here that you wouldn't have a clue what the surname was that we're going to use tonight. You wouldn't even know their full name. Some of them used names that were just their nicknames, But I really thought about it and I thought, I don't really know that many that aren't the hugest stars in the world. That I can say override your bands and your surname and your first name, Thinking about it, I thought, gee, I really have to sit there and think about it. The ones that you thought of were the obvious ones as well, but there was a few there that I thought of that I thought it's interesting because you would have thought there were more. I reckon I would have thought there were more. Because the 80s was renowned for it. But also marketing was a lot better in the 80s. So if you started with a one-name word, you never went surname. Very rarely.
Yeah,
Madonna never went Madonna
yeah.
Ciccone or,
No.
Divine never went Divine blah, blah, blah. Or it was always just the one name. But really interesting subject. I love it. And that was Madonna, of course, with Dress You Up, the concert version.
Love the concert version, and I love her vocal performance in it. Really strong on this recording.
Yeah, absolutely. She doesn't sing like that anymore.
Last single released from Like a Virgin, which came out in 1984. This came out in 1985 as the single, and I think she was only the second female artist to get 4 number one singles off the one album up until this date. And it was recorded famously at Power Station by Nile Rodgers, who was her producer on that album.
Yeah, that's right. Love it, love it, love it. I think there was more than 4 hits on that album, wasn't there?
Yeah, 4 number ones though.
4 number ones. Wow. Angel would have been one of them.
Yeah.
Material Girl maybe. Like a Virgin.
Yeah, Like a Virgin. Yeah.
Oh, no, hang on, no, hang on. Yeah, like if it and dress you up. That's interesting. She had a lot of singles off that. And those A-B sides, which we've got to look into as well. That's another episode where we can do the double A sides. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
You don't realise how many there were around at the time in the 80s where they both charted A side, double A side. Do you want to play the next song?
Absolutely. We'll rip through tonight.
Here we go. There we go. Prince.
Do you know what? I don't think we introduced ourselves.
Oh, they know who we are. I'm Sammy Hardon.
I'm Jay Joby, 80s Montage. How have you been? How's your week been and all of that? And then we'll talk about Prince.
Flat out. But speaking of vinyl,
on.
look what I got today.
Oh, fuck. Fantastic.
39
Oh, we should have played
bucks.
something from that. Fantastic. Did you get that
Well,
from
I
JB?
didn't have it at that time. I didn't have it. Well, I got a voucher for my birthday and from mum and dad, and I wanted to spend it on myself, not just get fucking print cartridge, which is why I went there.
Yeah,
and then I also brought this.
Oh, wonderful. So she's holding up Prince's Sign of the Times album and also Kim Wilde. That's beautiful, babe.
Kim Wilde. This is the album I don't have, which has
wonderful.
Checkered Love and Kids in America. Water on Glass.
Oh,
opens
beautiful.
up, which is amazing. So that was expensive, but Prince was like $40 and I thought, I love that record. I'm just going to get it, you know?
100%. How cool. Good old JB
Let's
Hi-Fi.
talk about-
this song, Raspberry Beret. This is from the Around the World in a Day album, which I don't know. To me, is like the most Prince of all albums. I don't know. I think the design of it, the music off it. I love the tracks off it. This went to number 2. It was held off number 1 by View to the Kill by Duran Duran. And a great track. It's one of my favorites. I just die when the strings come in the chorus. It's the best bit about the song.
Yeah. And he's got a little cough in this video. I loved that as a kid when he had a cough.
Yeah,
because I thought
too.
the video was really clever. And when he gets a little cough, I'm like, Prince has got the flu. But it was just something you wouldn't do, but he did it, you know?
I couldn't sort of work it out. It was just, he's just sort of got a weird sense of humor. It's sort of like does this little cough. Like I think he sort of trying to be cool, and then as he goes to sing, he fucking, swallows down the wrong way or something. I don't know. Prince can undercut himself, but he's the only one that can. You know what I mean?
I think he was just trying to say that he's really overworked, which he probably was.
Oh, yeah, right.
At that time.
Yeah.
Because he gets the guitar off the blonde and then he does a cough, and that was I couldn't work it out as a kid either, but I just thought, maybe he's overworked. Can't rest up,
Yeah.
But I don't know what he was trying to say either, but I loved it, and it was memorable. It's really memorable stuff like that in a video clip, which is amazing. Now, the next one I've got is
do you want to know a bit of trivia
I talked about
about
last week called
the
Cherrelle.
music video?
Cherrelle.
Hey, do you want to know something about the music video?
With the Robert Palmer cover. Yeah.
Sorry, I just was trying to cut in. Pat Smear from Foo Fighters is in that film clip in the background as a dancer. Isn't that the weirdest thing in the world? Pat Smear. Pat Smear's the one that they was with Foo Fighters and came back after a long time. He's the really kind of friendly looking, sort of darker guy in Foo Fighters. He was one of the he was in the background in the film clip anyway. So there you go.
Do you know a lot of them were dancers though in the old days before they got into bands? A lot of them. And
yeah.
A friend of mine, Adrian, put this up the other night. The girl in the Aha video, which is Take On Me, she's in Got to Be a Lover by Billy Idol as one of his backing vocals.
Yeah,
and she looks like a totally different chick. And she was in Hot Gossip. She was in the Hot Gossip Dancers as well. So you don't realise, I guess it's like anyone. You're just an extra somewhere and you get an opportunity and you just do it.
Yeah.
I think there were more work opportunities, but to pay the rent, you may have done, a Prince video or whatever. But, it's interesting. That's another good sort of subject as well, things that you wouldn't expect people to see people in,
Yeah,
how they made a living. So Raspberry Beret, great track, was amazing for Prince. And that album, I remember it being on the cassette in the car stereo all the time, that track. And I think I had the album as well. I loved it. It was kind of Prince's weird-ass album that everyone sort of got if you are a hardcore fan. I'm not sure whether the commercial people really got into it until later on down the track, but it was awesome.
He was much more psychedelic than a lot of his previous stuff, like a lot sort of hippier or trippier or something.
Oh, yeah. It was like the Beatles. Around the world in the day,
exactly.
Like it was like his Beatles trip, but funkier. But, interesting. Even the album cover was very Beatles and just the design of it.
Collage.
And I think when the Beatles did do that little trippy album, I Am the Walrus, that had I Am the Walrus on it and all that stuff, I think a lot of artists really loved that, because they really broke out of the mould. And you see like Tears for Fears did the whole copying of that as well.
100%.
And there's just so many bands that took that on. Magical Mystery Tour, was it called? The Beatles, that album?
The album? The Beatles album? Wasn't it like
Maddie will know.
Yellow Submarine or something?
No, Magical.
I don't know.
It was the Stoner one. Maddie will be screaming.
I can't even fucking remember.
Yeah, I loved it. I had it. I think
every
it was
muso in the world will be.
Magical Mystery Tour or something, and it had I'm the Walrus and just some great tracks on it. But now, I spoke about this lady last week, Cherrelle, and I said I wanted to check out that I had this right, and it was, I didn't mean to turn you on, that was one of the songs I said she sang, and she's one of those chicks that didn't have a surname either, and I thought I'd put her in the show, and it's a really good track, and this is Cherrelle's version of I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. Here we go.
I
That's Cherrelle, Didn't Mean to Turn You On, Robert Palmer cover, which is amazing, and I loved her.
There we go. Was that written by Jam and Lewis? Was that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis?
It was definitely. Well, this is what I mean. These are the artists that came in before Janet. So if you watch the Whitney Houston doco, I think there's one, she's her best friend, Cherrelle. And I couldn't believe that because I'm watching Cherrelle going, what's Cherrelle doing there? But they were really close. The Beatles album I'm talking about is the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album.
Oh, of course.
I have
Why
to
do
say
I always forget? Yeah.
Yeah, my brain's not switched on. It's in a million places. Sorry, guys, but that's what I was talking about. Yeah, Cherrelle. And I wanted to bring that up because I did want to clarify that I had it right last week. And, yeah, that's the song. And I think it's a great version of it. And she's a one-namer.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't know her surname at all.
Yeah. That's the original version, and then Robert Palmer came out in 86.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, the original came out in 84.
That's incredible.
And Robert Palmer was in 86. Yeah. He covered it. Good old Robert Palmer. Because it was written by Jam and Lewis.
Right. Excellent. God, I thought it came out way after. Because Cherrelle was 84, so he came out in 86. All right. And it wasn't on a record or anything? Wow.
No, well, they wrote it, so yeah.
Fucking awesome. Yeah. All right, well, the next track we're going to do is, this is one of your ones. Love it. I hadn't heard this track before.
Oh.
Here we go.
I remember this coming out.
Oh, really?
This is Morrissey, of course, Morrissey of the Smiths, and this is his very first single from his debut album, his first debut album. This is called Suedehead. The album's called Viva Hate. I remember the album coming out because I think because of all the Smith stuff, everybody expected his solo effort, or at least his first thing, to be very dark. And it is very dark, but this single isn't. It's sort of very upbeat. But it talks about like the suede heads are when somebody shaves their head and it grows out a little bit and it feels like suede. That's the sort of reference I get. And it sort of talks about like his growing up in regional England and how very rough it was and how there was always like an air of anger and frustration in the air amongst sort of young boys and everything. But I loved it. I really loved it because I sort of was a huge fan of the Smiths as a younger kid. And, yeah, I was just glad that it looked like Morrissey was going to sort of keep releasing great music. He worked with Stephen Street on this, who was a Smiths producer.
So can you tell me what his full name is? Because I wouldn't have a clue. Is Morrissey his last name
never known.
Or his first name?
Oh, it's his last name. It's Stephen Patrick Morrissey. But I've never known. I never knew.
Yeah.
Like
it
was always just Morrissey.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
And I never sort of I never wondered either. He was just Morrissey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Exactly. And that kind of music as well, it's like cool. You know, you don't really need to know. Love it. The next tracky wacky. Oh, okay, here we go. This one's a goodie too. Can't stand this song though. Here we go.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd stay. I don't know why I did the things I did. I don't know why I said the things I said. Pride's like a knife, it can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you. You'd stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me like you used to. If I could
Turn back time.
Absolutely huge here in Australia. Yeah, absolutely huge all around Australia. And I think because I'm just sort of reading the stats, the album itself, Heart of Stone, went to number 10 in the US, went to number 7 in the UK, but because it went to number 1 in Australia, it became the Geffen label, because she was on David Geffen's label, it became their first international number 1 album. So, big things. It's not my favourite album, to be honest,
Yeah.
but it was so popular here.
Oh, it was always on the TV on Sounds. I just didn't get it, the sailor thing. It was just not something I was into. I didn't like sailors because of that, because they're pretty easy to root. You know, you'd have to have leprosy not to get a sailor. And I just thought it was a bit shit. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know. But I love Don't You Know, na, 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 that song with the boyfriend in it. That's my favourite Cher song, and I can't remember the name of the song. But,
Bugger, I can't
yeah,
remember.
huge in Australia. And a lot of people love it, you know. We do it in our band if we have to.
Diane
doesn't-
Warren famously did a lot of writing on this album. John Bon Jovi as well. And even though I'm not a huge fan of the song, Bonnie Tyler and Michael Bolton do backing vocals on Emotional Fire. So you might want to check that out.
Yeah, right. Wow. Must have been a slow work week. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. I think they really wanted to make it a huge success, you know. They were getting everyone on board.
But Cher, don't know her second name, wouldn't have a clue.
Well, Cher actually is her name. It's short for Cherrelle Sarkisian.
Yeah, right.
She got rid of it though after she, she was, officially Cher Bono or Cherrelle Bono. After she split up from Sonny, she changed her name just to Cher. So on her passport, on her license and everything, it's just Cher.
Yeah. So when she worked with Sonny, though, she was just Cher as well, though. Wasn't
Yeah, but
she?
that was her stage
Sonny
name.
and
That was her
Cher
stage
show?
name.
Yeah.
But legally
Yeah.
she was Cher Bono. But
legally.
when she,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so she never took on another surname after she split up with him.
Yeah.
She just was legally Cher.
Yeah. So she's dating this guy that this rapper chick used to date who's got a baby with him. And apparently the guy is the biggest slut on the planet. The young guy she's dating now is the biggest nightmare. And
Wonderful.
Who's the girl with the blonde short hair? She's just had a baby to him and she goes over to Cher's house all the time. And apparently the boyfriend sticks it in everything. And I don't get that as a strong woman that she would be into that shit. But
yeah, right.
I just heard her being interviewed about it the other day. And I was really shocked to hear that because I thought Cher was really, I'm sure she's strong, but I don't know. Would you fuck around with that shit? Someone that's just had a baby with another woman?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
It's just interesting to find out.
Complicated lives.
All right, here we go. This one's a good one as well.
Let me in your heartbeat, let me feel your heartbeat, let me touch your heartbeat, I can change your heartbeat.
Tiffany, otherwise known as Tiffany Darwish, but I never knew that. Tiffany Darwish.
Nah, never used the Darwish. That's probably a married name. I only knew her as Tiffany. I wasn't a fan. How much money would she have really made doing a cover and that was the only track?
I doubt much. I mean, this was old. This was really old. And this originally came out in 1967 by Tommy James and the Shondells and then was covered again in 1978 by Lena Lovitch.
Lena Lovitch?
Lena Lovitch.
Did you, Lena, yeah. Didn't know. Yes, I do know she did that. Yes, I've got that record on vinyl.
Oh, have you?
Lena Lovitch. I was a huge Lena Lovitch fan. Like, loved her. Had all the records and posters and stuff. I'm thinking the only thing Tiffany did for the music industry was opened up the shopping centres as a form of a concert.
Oh, in terms of like appearances in shopping centres?
Absolutely. And concerts.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Ah, cool.
No one had ever done it before. So when you see this video where she's in the supermarket, you start thinking, why is she at a supermarket? Like it's not a supermarket. It would be more like Chadstone or something, or I don't know what you call them. And after that happened, there were a lot more people promoting their records in those types of places because she was low budget. And
yeah, that's right.
You could tell from the video. And I kind of knew she wasn't going to stick as well, but
nah,
she did stick. The pages of Playboy stuck there for a while when she did that.
That's right, a little while. She very early on in her career had New Kids as her opening act. And I remember I think she was dating one of them.
Maybe.
It was probably just a rumor, but there was always the rumor she was. I think it might have even been Donnie Wahlberg. I can't remember.
Yeah, right. Well, when you watch the Robbie Williams doco, they talk about how much stuff was around the girls they were dating and how a lot of it wasn't true and stuff. And he used to hang out with I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched the doco, and it was never true that they were together. I think it might have been the girl from the All Saints, or did he date?
Yeah,
maybe
right.
he dated her. Anyway, yeah, all
they
that
were
stuff.
friends.
They really used to use those as rumours, you know. Yeah, I can't say much about Tiffany. I have performed this song live. It's a good sing. And there was the instrumental on the back of the single, which you could use in a live performance, especially when I was doing Revolver. But
right.
it was only because I was finding instrumentals and that had the instrumental at the back, which says a lot about the song as well. There wasn't really a B-side or anything like that. But I couldn't tell you what was on the record. But still touring now.
She did another cover. She did
Still doing gigs now.
She did a Beatles cover. She did I Saw Him Standing There. She did another
that's
cover.
right.
Yeah.
Jesus, how much would they have paid for that?
I remember it coming out and it reminded me of, can you remember they used to do, it was like a spoof album they used to do in the 80s and it was dogs barking in tune?
Maybe, vaguely.
It fucking reminded me of that.
Right.
When it came out because they must have released one of these spoof albums around the time that this got released. And I was like, oh, that poor thing. What she now, that's all anybody's going to hear. But
yeah.
yeah, stupid. I'll have to show you what I mean.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that spoofy stuff. Spoofy. The next one's a good one. Here we go. Sting.
There you go. What do you reckon about that one? Do you like that?
Me? Oh, God, it's one of my favourite songs he's done.
It's very Robert
Love
Palmer,
it.
don't you reckon?
Oh, yeah, for sure it is. Absolutely. I like this song because you got to see Trudy. Trudy was in the video, his wife.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
And there was some great dancing and it was in black and white, so it was very dancey. And I remember the blonde girl in the video was also in Pink Cadillac as the blonde girl in the car in Pink Cadillac. This was the sort of stuff you noticed with the dancers and stuff where you went, oh, my God, that's the same dancer as in Pink Cadillac, and great dancing in this. And then he does like this drunk dance, Sting, in the video clip, and it's really clever. Really, really well done.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I love the song. I think it's funky as anything.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're if you're a Police fan, you wouldn't have heard Sting really do stuff like this, which was like really super programmed and so forth. This is from Nothing Like the Sun album in 1987, of course. This is the same album as Englishman in New York, which you played on the show before. We're both huge fans of that song. He did a lot of collaborating in between the time that the Police dissolved and this second of this is his second solo album. By the time that this came out, he was one of the backing vocals on the Arcadia single "The Promise." So he was sort of, as well as doing like do they know it's Christmas and that kind of thing sort of along the years.
Money
Lots of
for
collaborating and yeah, that's right, exactly. Lots of collaborating and exploring different musical styles. So he's very, very talented. Love Sting.
So Sting wasn't his real name. It was Gordon Sumner, I think, from memory.
There we go. Yeah, that's right.
And Sting, I think they called him Sting because he went into a band rehearsal with the black and yellow top on. And
fuck, that makes me
I'm
laugh.
pretty sure Dallas told me this story. And he went in looking like a bumblebee kind of thing, and they called him Sting from that day on. But I had I had a cover band that was doing this song, and it was really good. I was just
cool.
too young to do the band though. Like I was under 18, and I remember them programming this song going, oh my God, this sounds incredible. He was hot. Sting was hot around this time. Just phenomenal, especially as a solo artist as well, you know.
And he was
So
just
what are
very
we
sure
calling
of
this
himself.
show? Mononyms.
Mononyms.
Mononyms, yeah.
Mononym, that means one name.
Yeah, great. I've heard of it, but I never use it. But I can't even pronounce it. That's why I wanted you to pronounce it, because I can't pronounce it. All right, so this one definitely is a mononym. Mononym.
Yeah,
here
this
she
one's
is
huge.
now.
Your love is king. Crown you in my heart. Your love is king. Never need to part. Your kisses ring. Round and round and round my head, touching the very part of me. It's making my soul sing, tearing the very heart of me. I'm crying out for more. Your love is king. Crown you in my heart. Your love is king. You're the ruler of my heart. Your kisses ring. Round and round and round my head, touching the very part of me. It's making my soul sing. I'm crying out for more. Your love is king. I'm coming up. I'm coming. You're making me dance.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, Sade and her first album. And this is the lead single from that first album. This was the single that came out before Smooth Operator, which was, the big sort of, the one that really sort of broke her all around the world, I guess. Smooth Operator was the third single from the album. But I love this with the sexy sax that she was known for.
Yeah, I must say I never knew this was the third single. I thought Aussies heard Smooth. I thought Smooth Operator was the debut. It wasn't just the UK.
So this was the first, and then Smooth Operator was the third single.
Well, it went under the radar big time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
think
only
sort of
started
people
sort of
rediscovered it.
taking notice with Smooth Operator, just with the video clip and everything. But yeah, I love her, everything about her. I love the androgyny about her. She was quite strong, even though she sang about sort of romantic stuff.
Yeah.
And still working today.
Now, her name originally is Folosade Adu, and she's got sort of a Western name, Helen, at the beginning, but Folosade. So it is in there, but, Sade or Sade would have been her family name, I guess,
Oh, yeah, that's
Beautiful
right.
woman.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's it.
stunning.
Diamond Life. Got that record. Every album she put out was amazing. There was never a dull moment with Sade.
consistently.
Yeah.
And
which
she had
was
those
great.
sort of couple of comebacks, and the comebacks were just incredible. Like the music was just so incredible. Like she came back so much stronger each time she would come back after her little sort of hiatus period.
Yeah, she really lived her own life and just took 5 years off if she felt like it, and then came back with the wedding, the album, where she was in the wedding dress and the water, and that was really late 90s, I think. And we hadn't heard from her in ages. And No Ordinary Love, that was the one I'm trying to think of. And it was amazing,
Yeah.
But the best thing about Sade is her backing vocalist. The backing vocalist is just identical to her voice. And when she's live, you just hear the BVs and you go, this guy's incredible. They're like soulmates or something,
yeah.
which was great. I can't remember his name, which is a shame, but he was always very much needed in the live sort of. There's some great live, concerts you can watch of hers as well that are great. I did go and see her live.
And you've seen her live,
I think.
have you?
Yeah, I have. I think I did go and see her live because the Jolly family, Raji and Edward, are just they love her. So I'm pretty sure we went when she came to Australia.
Oh, fantastic. Nice.
Sade. All right, the next one we've got is this one.
What you've left behind, then walk away from the greatest lover you have ever known. Yes, walk away. You're telling me that you can make it on your own, by yourself, all alone, without my help. Mister, you just made a big mistake. You think you're a man, but you're only a boy. You think you're a man, you are only a toy. You think you're a man, but you just couldn't see. You weren't man enough to satisfy me. Shut the door. Take a look around and tell me what you find. Shut the door. Take a giant step for you and all mankind. Then don't come back. I always gave you so much more than you deserved. Now don't come back. Cause no one makes a fool of me. You got a nerve to walk away. Mark the words I'm gonna say.
You have made a big mistake.
Mate, that's a rough vocal.
You know what, though? We never questioned it.
Nah.
This is what I mean. Like, how different are you really?
Yeah.
We never questioned it. And we just loved watching the video. I mean, the bass is hilarious when you hear the bass. Just a normal
Yeah,
thing to see a
absolutely.
character like this come up in the 80s and
So
be
it's
on top of
Divine,
the
of
pops.
course.
Divine,
Yeah. So Divine, originally Harris Milstead, was a drag artist, and it's not uncommon for drag artists to have mononyms. Like you think of sort of RuPaul, Carlotta, Raven, I don't know, big sort of famous ones. And this was another case. It was John Waters that gave Divine her name and gave her the name and also the tagline, and this always makes me fucking laugh, the most beautiful woman in the world, almost.
I love that.
I fucking love that. John Waters' films are wacky, man.
Well, Polyester's my favourite by far.
Oh, awesome.
This was a Stock Aitken and Waterman track as well. And
It
very,
was.
very
You can
popular.
hear that.
And it
Yeah.
was Pete Waterman that gave Divine the stage and said, you need to put out a
Yep.
single. So that was pretty brave, of someone to do
Yeah.
that in those times. I think Sylvester was out and it was like, well, let's do, one further along.
Yeah.
But yeah, really big for Stock Aitken and Waterman, this track as well. And they just tried anything, Stock Aitken and Waterman. They just went there. You know, they never, ever contemplated anything. But
And they
yeah,
were just sort of trying to establish their brand, you know, like just trying to make their
absolutely.
mark.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. It was all based off Hazel Dean stuff and Searching. Everyone loved that, and it was just happening, you know. But I think Divine's great. Polyester's piss funny. If you want to watch some of the movies that he released, they're really, really great.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
Especially when there's ants in the
Divine-
sandwich.
Divine famously auditioned for a role in Blade Runner, and they were really impressed. It was for a male role, so you know, Harris Milstead or whatever his name was, didn't just do Divine. He was sort of trying. He was very diverse in his performance, and auditioned for a male role, and they were really enthusiastic, but just didn't end up casting him in the end.
Yeah, great actor. Incredible. Like, played just so many funny, you know, characters in the movies. It doesn't surprise me that he went for normal roles as well, because I'm sure there was a few he did, but they were only really small. But I'm just trying to think what they were. Can't really remember. But, yeah, awesome. That's a good one, because you wouldn't really think of that as a what is it?
Mononym.
Wouldn't think about it. Now, we must mention today we found out that Ollie Olsen passed away. We just spoke about him the other week in the side projects.
That's right. Really sad.
It is. And he just had a GoFundMe put up. So if you want to have a look at the GoFundMe, maybe just to help, I don't know, with the funeral and stuff, maybe that's what they were getting at. I'm not sure, but that was sad. George Negus, another part of our childhood that's gone from 60 Minutes. He's gone. He died yesterday. George Negus was...
George Negus, that's
everywhere.
So sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
What an amazing journalist, and just like so much integrity. You know, we all grew up with George Negus on... you know, he'd always be sort of adventuring around the world on the front lines. I remember that amazing interview he did with Margaret Thatcher where she lost his temper with him, and fearless journalist, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even know he was sick, to be honest with you. I was quite shocked by that. There are a lot of other people that died this week. I'm just trying to think. I know Kat Glover died a couple of weeks ago. That's why I did buy Sign of the Times, because it reminds me of Kat. And that was pretty full on, because she was only young as well. She wasn't that old.
Yeah.
But there's been
absolutely.
a few die. What have you been watching lately?
Oh,
Like
just before
shows.
we jump off, I just wanted to sort of Ollie's actually sort of friend of a friend of a lot of our friends. I ran into Baby Lemonade the other night in the city. They collaborated on a project together, I think, in the 90s. Ollie was very prolific. He sort of did a lot of collaborations, and, you know, was always known for being extremely courageous and collaborative around Melbourne. And that was working right up until he got to Max Q. So a lot of musos knew him and worked with him. And, so it was very sad. He was like an underdog. He was real, had lots of integrity, a bit of a cult hero in the sort of Melbourne music scene. So yeah, very sad, and you know, we send all of our condolences to his wife Jane and their family as well. So any friends of ours that are listening as well that knew Ollie, you know, we're thinking of you. It's very sad. But look, what have I been watching? I've been watching the new series of From on Stan. Have you watched it?
No.
Nah, it's from the same producers as Lost, and it's sort of, I guess it's like got, horror themes. It's a bit of a thriller, but it's just really well done. Like at the end of every episode, God, you can't wait for the next one. And I kind of wish I had have let the third series, because I binged the first two series, like just smashed them out really quick. And then unfortunately I'm waiting week after week for this third, and it's so frustrating because they're excellent episodes. If you like a bit of sort of like trashy horror, it's really, really rewarding.
Yeah, I haven't seen Lost either, but I've been watching that tacky Nobody Wants This, I think it's called. And it's about the rabbi and the Gentile that gets involved with the rabbi, and he's like the hot rabbi. I binge watched that because I've had the band around, Maddie's band around on Saturday night, and I was just basically sitting here waiting for them to get home because we've been playing heaps of Cluedo. God, that's
great.
funny, and I was pissed and I won. I got so smashed and I
Bullshit.
started playing Cluedo and I
Serious?
guessed it in one go, and they couldn't believe it. Couldn't scratch my ass.
Who was it? Was it Dr. Plum in the library with the dildo?
Something like that. But we had a great time anyway. It was really, really good time. But
I love Cluedo.
yeah, but write in and let us know what you're watching. You never know. It could be good. I need some new stuff.
And happy birthday, Mud, our mate Mud, who listens to the show now and then from Maddie's band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's had a great birthday. He had a
21 again.
He was here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day for Mud, but we won't go there.
All right.
He is, I don't know how old Mud is now. Everyone just gets older.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, but like even Madonna's child, Lourdes,
Lourdes, it was her birthday, yeah.
how old would she be now? I remember the day she was
mate.
born.
Yeah, she'd have to
She'd
be
have to be 26.
Yeah, she'd be getting there, wouldn't she?
It's just mental.
She'd be getting up there. Born in 96, so she's 28.
28. That's unheard of.
That's right. They need to put a stop to it.
Well, I just can't believe it.
I remember sort of Madonna, because everyone sort of, I guess chicks especially, they were really like there for Madonna. They could tell she really wanted to be a mother. And,
Yeah, that's right.
And be, she wanted to be the mother that she lost kind of thing. And everyone really, they sort of lived, Madonna famously had a few sort of miscarriages that they kept very hush-hush. And so, when she had a successful birth and the baby was so beautiful, mate, everyone was so overjoyed. I really remember that.
I remember
cover
where
of every
I was.
magazine. Yeah.
Absolutely remember where I was when she was born.
Yeah.
And I was sort of on the corner of Chapel Street and Toorak Road. I might have just gone to the bank. There used to be a Commonwealth Bank on the corner or something. And then I went to the jam factory and I heard that she was born. And it was that exact feeling of, oh, my God, she's done it, Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a girl and it was beautiful. And then Rocco came along and she really has done what she said. Look, she does what she says, man. You can't falter on that.
That's right. She's determined.
Absolutely does it.
Unstoppable.
So we got one more. This show's flown, but that's all right.
This is a
And we'll
sexy
see
one.
everyone in Shearwater on Friday night in Tasmania. We're getting ready to go there. The weather
Tassie.
should be all right when we're on, but it's going to be a tricky one, but hopefully it'll change in the next day.
Right, we'll see.
Here we go. This is the champion of all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joey's Club Elite is proud to present Sydney L.
All my love's for fun now. If you keep me up on the one, I'm so in love with you. For love, honey, I'll undo. I just might take it off real slow. Maybe even turn the lights down.
Vanity.
Vanity from Vanity 6. This is her sort of solo stuff. And this is from, you were saying, Sammy, the soundtrack of Action Jackson. Is that right?
Yeah, because she had a role in that, Action Jackson. Yeah.
And she looked phenomenal in this film.
Phenomenal. And it's really funny because I think they end up dating from memory. I can't remember if she dates the cop or not. It's sort of, I'd have to watch it again. But the thing about Vanity was she was sexy, you know. And
Yeah, God. Absolutely gorgeous.
the leader of the pack, you know.
She had that sort of like multicultural look where you just like couldn't tell what her background was. And I think because she was a mononym, because we didn't know her surname or what her real name was, it just added sort of more mystery. She was just so exotic and absolutely gorgeous chick. She looks very tall, but she's actually quite petite.
Tiny. Yep.
Yeah. Carl Weathers, who was in Rocky. Carl Weathers, he plays Apollo Creed in the original original Rocky series. He's in this. He sort of stars in this. And I think it's sort of like their attempt to really launch him as a really big solo action star to rival Stallone and stuff, but didn't sort of, didn't really sort of take ground. He was in Predator as well. But Sharon Stone, this is one of Sharon Stone's first sort of decent chunky roles as well, first appearances, and she was absolutely gorgeous in this as well.
Yeah, they're hot. Denise Catherine Matthews, January 4th, 1959.
Oh, you'd go for Vanity, wouldn't you, over Denise Catherine Matthews?
Yeah, look, yeah, absolutely. She just fit her, you know. Same with Apollonia. You wouldn't know what Apollonia was. I think that was her first name anyway, Apollonia's. But
it was, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Vanity. She did the same thing as Prince, and she got a bit churchy in the end, and then she started working for the church, and we didn't see that side of her much anymore. And then she had all these health problems, and all of a sudden Prince was out here singing happy birthday to her, and then she died while he was here.
She died, I remember. That was his piano tour that he did at the end.
That's
when
right.
He couldn't play guitar anymore. And it was really sad. It happened, it was in Australia when she died, and it really took the wind out of his sails. It made him like extremely sad. That would have really hurt because they did have that sort of religious infinity as well, where they kind of weren't singing any of their sexier material because they had, seen God and so forth. And at least they had that thing in common, I guess, that link, that understanding.
And sex more than
That's
anything.
right.
Because I think he was eventually going to marry her.
Gotcha.
I think they were really full on. But he was always around beautiful women that had different, and they always had the same eye placement in the videos and that sexual Prince look about them, that Bambi eye thing, which is incredible. But I love Vanity. I think she's incredible and love her.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now, some ones we haven't mentioned that we've missed. Lamal,
definitely, from bloody...
Lamal's a good one.
Kajagoogoo, of course.
Kajagoogoo. Yeah, that's good. Now, also, Bjork. Mustn't forget Bjork.
What was the band that she started out in?
The Sugar Cubes.
That's right.
Yeah.
You had Bono in U2, of course. Never really successfully went so. Yeah, Martika, who was a child star, and a sort of Prince. Prince really took her under his wing and rooted her.
Yep. Yeah, possibly. I know someone else that rooted her as well. But even not just singers, like Slash, one word. What's his name?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, Dio as well. Dio, the legendary guitarist. Yeah.
Dio, the singer?
Yeah.
Yep. The singer, you mean?
Yeah, Dio, the rocker, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was another one. But there wasn't Sunita. I thought of Sunita. I thought she was a good one.
Sunita. And Selena as well, sort of big Latina star, like massive sort of star. She was more. She did have an album in the 80s. She was more of a 90s explosion though, and she was murdered by a crazy fan, I believe.
Yeah, Selena was 90s, was she? Jesus, I thought it was like 70s, 80s.
Most of her albums were in the 90s. Yeah,
What
so did
year
I.
did
I
she
always
die,
thought so too. Oh shit, I don't know. Not sure.
There's a really good movie about Selena
95.
and her. 95, yeah. Really good movie about that fan stuff. And it scares you a bit because you don't realise how close people can get. I think it was the girl that ran her fan club that killed her.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
And it's really interesting because they get in with you, and she was the hugest Latino thing ever. Like, you know, people like Jennifer Lopez look up to her and stuff like that. But it's such an interesting story because this is before anyone even thought that stuff could happen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, you're just thinking, how does anyone kill anyone that runs the fan club? You know, what's going on there?
Well, they want to be, you know, they think that artist is indebted to them because they've sort of bust their ass sort of doing stuff for them, and they want to be linked to them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So it's not much of a leap for a crazy person, is it?
No, very unusual. Very unusual. But she was only young as well, and loved her. Who else did I think of? I was thinking I just think there wasn't that. Oh, Enya. Enya's another one.
Enya,
Sail away,
yeah, definitely.
Sail away, sail away.
Yeah, that was huge.
But I really did sit there and went, who do I know? You know, and compared to the amount of art, because we had so many more artists in the 80s that were well known. Like, they weren't on the internet trying to sell singles. They were just known. And I think 30% would be this. You know what I mean? Like the one word thing.
I reckon Kylie Minogue almost got there. Like in sort of Australia, Europe, there's really only one Kylie. You know what I mean? She nearly got there. And I remember sort of Kylie Jenner trying to claim the brand name Kylie.
Yeah.
And Minogue's lawyers came in and said, no. Kylie, there is only one Kylie. She has had a career that's gone on for decades, and she's not a second-rate reality star. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
Very good.
Well, she was Kylie Minogue when she came out, and then a lot of them did do that, and I don't know if I'd put them in the same category.
Yeah, that's right. Janet
it's a little
Jackson,
bit
something
different.
similar. Yeah.
Well, Janet Jackson,
that's right.
like as in Janet, you mean? Yeah. She was a Jackson.
They tried it on. Yeah, that's right.
I just don't think it was marketable because you either had to do it straight up or it just didn't work, you know?
There was the theory, though, with Janet that her marketing people, when he was going through a lot of his allegations, when Michael was going through a lot of his allegations, that's when they started marketing her as just Janet, like as independent of the Jackson label as they could. You know what I mean? That's interesting. I don't know if I buy that, but yeah.
No, I don't. She's definitely Janet Jackson. If you're nasty. She's Janet if you're nasty. But I think that's interesting though that you bring up the Kylie thing because it's the first name that everyone knows Kylie from. But for that thing to try it on, like, you know, to I don't know, what do you call it, trademark Kylie, there is no way in the world they would have got that, even though Kylie, you know her as Kylie Minogue, you know? Minogue is such a big name.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's an interesting thing because she could have thought she was going to win. You know what I mean? Because Kylie doesn't just use Kylie. So it's a bit of a hard one. So I reckon the mum's gone, oh, well, you just have to try it because, you know, they won't get anywhere near it but really we knew Kylie Jenner as Kylie Jenner.
Yeah,
I didn't just know her as Kylie. Like I never thought of her, you know. But interesting subject. I love it.
Yeah, it is interesting. Imagine sort of being so famous and unique that you only needed that one name. Like it's incredible. Yeah. Thank fuck we're not like this. Fucking hell. Imagine just like your celebrity being this great or your cult status being this great that you fit under this one kind of brand name. Yeah, amazing. Anyway, there's our episode,
it was all
guys.
record
Good on
company
ya.
driven, which is interesting.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
You know.
Nice one. We will see you in Tassie with Rewind 80s next. Yeah, in no time at all. Nice to see you guys. Now, please like, share, rate and review. Give us 5 stars, guys, and write us a little comment in the comments section on whatever platform you listen to us on. We're on over 10 different platforms, iTunes, Spotify and so forth. So write us a little message in the comments section. Also, become a subscriber. Don't just listen to the... Oh, yes. More importantly, YouTube.
Yeah,
jump on and subscribe with YouTube.
Out there. There are some boomers out there that can't get onto Apple Podcasts, and I had one last week, and I said, it's all on YouTube, which means, you know, everyone knows how to use YouTube, you know.
And it's really easy. I mean, if people have an Apple TV, YouTube will be one of their sort of default icons on their Apple TV. Go into YouTube. If your account's open, you'll see the podcast section and you can just search us via that. So you can, you know, like you just would have like a video clip playing as you're doing your cleaning, you can play us through the TV on a Saturday morning, you know, when the new episode comes out on the Thursday or the Friday. So there you go. There's your Saturday morning set for you. Nice one, guys. Become a subscriber.
Messages?
Best thing you can do is become a Patreon for as little as $2 a month. For $15 a month, you get extra episode, guys. So put your money where your mouth is and keep the lights on. Thank you.
Awesome. We have messages, but we will read them out next week when we are back together. We just have been a bit busy and there's some great messages. Thank you for sending messages in on YouTube, on Spotify. You can leave a message and anywhere you like, really, Apple Podcasts. They've been great. And they help us chart. Like it helps the algorithms with people being able to find us as well. Even if you like it on YouTube, it helps other people find it on YouTube as well, which is great.
Absolutely. Thank you. Special thanks to all our subscribers and patrons all around the world. Big g'day. And if it's music mateys
or cool shit from the 80s,
we're going to talk about it.
Unreal.